So finally, I'm coming to Professor Yesudian for your views and reflections.
Thank you. I think being a last panel member, my colleagues have almost covered every point. I would like to talk about what kind of institutional arrangement, if you think about embodiment of HPSR in the health system. I would like to take it at two levels. One is health policy level and health system level. At the health policy level, it's at the ministry want to have information that can be used in the policy, in decision making, major decision making. I heard that ministry itself has a research unit, and it may not be a right way of ministry doing research for their own policy purpose. It will have its own. But it has a major role, a unit in the ministry to put together the evidence available through different studies to place it before decision makers. So it has a very major role in that sense. The other option for the policy making at the ministry is ministry itself supports few institutions like NHFW or NHSRC or ILPS in Mumbai. So there are the institutions that are they are substantially large institutions with research capacity, but still those institutions and the policy research to do that kind of a capacity is still yet to be developed in those institutions. So there's a real need to build capacity in those institutions and also provide a kind of an autonomy where they produce evidence without any bias, which will be ultimately fed into the decision-making process. Considering all these situations, what as government is on a big exercise to come out with a new policy and new programs, at this juncture, it maybe look at where these capacities lie immediately to make use of that capacity for creating evidence or looking for evidence for policy making. Now, we are here in this Keystone initiative meeting. We are 7, 8 or 10 institutions which are involved in HPSR research over a period of time. But our research mainly funded by development partners, and we have learned research. But also in these institutions, hardly 1 or 2 researchers are trained in HPSR. So how the government that's operating at the large level, macro level, is able to tap this resource for creating evidence? I suggest that a consortium approach is an important way of tapping the resources of thinly spread out resource of HPSR. So the government can form a consortium of these institutions, and also I would like the government to come forward and fund that consortium. As Secretary was here and he was talking about 1% of the health budget on research. But what I see is as far as I am aware of, most of the research we do through government funding or evaluation research. I think that focus should change. And this funding, and the second part is the research problem should come from the ministry. It's not like as researchers we identify some problem. So the priority research issues should come from the ministry, and there should be a strong dialogue between this consortium and the ministry officials. And thereby the evidence is produced on the priority issues, on those issues where there is need for decision making. So that is the very important thing if we at this juncture, if you want to create evidence for policy making. The second level is health system level. That is a very important thing because you may take any policy decision at the national level, but ultimately it is at the district level programs are implemented. Now we have say 600 plus districts which are so varied in nature, whether you take the political environment, geographical environment, social, economic, everything is different. So the whole burden lies on the manager at the district level, the district health officer, district TV officer. So it is very, very important to have that capacity developed there so that the policies and programs planned at the central level, ultimately they are implemented properly. To say in a nutshell, we need a people-centered health system at the district level, rather than top-down strategies dictated at the state and implemented at the district level. So the strategies have to be developed. So for this, the district level managers need this capacity. I think the Keystone initiative is one important initiative in this direction. The 2-week HPSR training at this middle level health workers is going to be going to help them long way to ensure any policies taken at the central level program planned, they get properly implemented. So therefore the state governments also have to have some fund available at the district level to do this research for problem solving. So with that I stop this, that we need institutional arrangements for HPSR research at the policy level, at the implementation level. Thank you.